Hey, my name's Jeff Talbot. Really excited to be with you guys today. Got a bunch of people watching on the live. Hey, Justin from Little Rock, Gloria from Maui, Tatiana from Hawaii as well. I've got so many beautiful people on the call today. Really excited. What I want to do today is really show you sort of stepwise and practically speaking with some real stories, how you can use your Facebook profile to get as many as 12 clients in 12 weeks or more. You've got a really powerful tool in front of you. So really excited to share that with you. It's going to be a pretty interactive time, but let me just go over the rules of the game because it's really important and it is kind of a game, right? I'm going to teach pretty fast. It might be the only time we get to work together. We've got about 60 minutes, so I want to make sure you get as much value as possible. What I'll do is I'll make sure you have the replay available, and you should have the worksheet. There's a link at the top of the chat, and I'll send it to you in email a bunch of times if you don't have it. So you should have that. Do you have the link in the chat box? Next, just to clarify, this is indeed my accent. This is a New Zealand accent, but I am not in New Zealand, although that would be a wonderful place to be right now. I can't talk in any other accent. Can you guys understand my accent? Put a yes, Jeff, if you can. Just pop that in chat or in the comments under the live. If you can understand my accent, I went back to Kiwi. That's amazing. Very cool. Yes, 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 yes. I know it's a beautiful accent. Thank you so much. Great to have you here, Patricia, attorney in LA. Really cool. Got people from all around the place on this call. So excited to have you there. I'm going to keep you guys muted because it's mostly teaching with some interaction, with some polls and some chat. And I might get you on at some point, but feel free to keep your camera off. At the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some questions, and I'll just tell you a bit more about how we can help, but I'm not going to like hard sell you anything or anything like that because I don't really like that, and I don't think that's the purpose of today. The first poll I have for you, though, let's get started. Let's get stuck in, is poll number 1. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to pop up a poll, which is cool. But really, it's about, is 2020 being dirty or nice? So just answer that question. Where are you with your goals in 2020? It's totally anonymous. Are you behind, right on target, or are you running ahead? So I just want to see where you are. So I'll give you about 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So what we're seeing as you guys answer this as it pops up, we're seeing that a bunch of people are a bit behind and some people are right on target. I'm not seeing anyone that's running ahead, although I do have some people in our training who are running ahead, which is pretty amazing, right? And so what we want to deal with is the honesty and the authenticity of the circumstances. And so totally fine. You are where you are. Going to pull the poll down now, and we'll put another one up in a little bit. But about 60% behind, about 40% are running on target. So you can see the result there. All right. So next thing we're going to look at right here is what I want to do. And I shared a video about this beforehand. Some of you would have seen it, but we're going to talk about it in a bit more detail. What I want us to understand is where we are right now. And it's a bit sober for some of us. But we started 2020 and not many of us had a global pandemic on our vision board, right? If you did, put, yes, I had pandemic on my vision board because you're amazing, right? But most of us didn't. We had these big, beautiful goals and we're feeling a little behind or we're just reaching them. And so in March 2020, the world pretty much started slowing down in many ways. And we are where we are now and we all have a future. And so what I want to do is just look quickly at the past. And so basically, you've been doing one of 3 things, I think, in general. So you've either been surviving or you've been declining in your business or you've been thriving. And so let me just ask you guys, where are you on this map? And I think I have a poll for you here. So let's have a look and see where we might be. I'm going to end this poll. Using polls for the first time. See how it goes. No, just let me know. Are you red line, yellow line, or green line? And you've kind of told me with your goals. We don't need to focus on it too much here. What we want to do is we want to make sure that you're not just surviving. But if you've been down here in the red, virtual hug for you, because that's a normal place to be. You are where you are. You know, if you're in airline industry, you couldn't really do much. So it's not your fault. And big love to you. And we want to work out what to do next. And if you're thriving, that's really great. But none of this really matters because it's the past. And today what we want to talk about is the future. And that's what we're going to talk about. How can you start getting clients from your Facebook profile right now? So it's a reset. So if we could just leave the past behind, that would be fantastic. If we could just shut off and say, there is opportunity, I just don't know where it is, I'm going to find it, that would be great. And it's really about the choices we make from here on in. And so we know that this is all going to end. At some point in human history, we're going to look back and say, on this date, we defeated coronavirus. At this date, the world found a new forever normal. And I don't know, when do you guys think it will be? What's your guess? Because I don't know for sure. Pop down, when do you think we'll be back to forever normal? Curious. Like, do you think it's going to be 6 months? 12 months? Again, if you're on the live, let me know. 18 months or longer? Just give me a guess. Like, because I don't think anyone really knows, but when do you think we will have survived coronavirus? When do you think? 12 months. That's a good guess. I hope so. November 5, that'd be amazing. That'd be incredible, right? That'd be awesome. When else? 12 months? Yeah, it's a guess. Like, we don't really know when the economy will be back to normal, or back to a new forever normal, when things will be 15 months, right? And so what we do know, though, and what I believe is the next 90 days are really, really important for how we're going to thrive. And so what I'm looking at here are 3 lines. So from this point on, we can decline in our business, we can survive, or we can thrive. And surviving might not work, because if it goes as long as 15 months or 18 months or longer, then doing the same old things and just trying to generate business the same way probably won't work. You'll run out of resources, run out of energy, etc. So we have to think about where we want to be. And again, shared this video with you guys before, but you can be red is when you're really in a state of fright. Like, this is horrible, what's happening to me, I don't know what to do. This place. So you're ruled by doing nothing and waiting a lot. Now the orange is more like a flight response. Like, when's this gonna end? I gotta hold on, I gotta survive. I'm gonna keep on cold calling, I'm gonna keep on doing whatever I did before to generate leads. There's not a lot of innovation, right? So you're holding on really tight. And the green response is really a fighting response. It's to say, you know what? This is a chance to reset. And I think there are 4 things that we need to do. We need to use this time to find ways to connect really strongly with people, because people are hungry for connection. And we need to innovate in how we connect. And we need to really lead them, because the need for leadership and connection is really strong when people are uncertain. And a lot of people in your community and in your database and in a lot of your clients are feeling red or orange. So your goal, and my challenge to you, is to ask you what it looks like to lead them. And that's really important. Basically, we can be here. I'm not going to go into this too much longer. We can be in panic mode, or we can say this is a chance to reset and position our business for the future. So there really is no point being on any other line other than the green line. There really is no benefit for you being anywhere else. That's not to say that it's not hard or difficult. So basic choice, since we're talking choices, which choice do you want to make right now? Which line are you going to choose to be on? Are you going to say, I'm just going to keep surviving, orange, I'm red, there's nothing I can do about it, or am I green? So just let me know in chat. I know it's a silly question, because there's no point being on any other line, but just as a state of commitment, if you're watching on live, are you red, orange, or green? Just pop that in chat, give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Want to be green? I want you to be green too. I know in Hawaii it's been really hard for you. Really hard. Green, 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 green. That's where you want to be, and that's where I want you to be. So let's look now at what it looks like to connect, innovate, and lead in the simplest possible manner right now using Facebook profile. Green, green, green. Yeah, not a bunch more greens coming in. That's awesome. So this is the goal, for me to show you how to get 12 clients in the next 12 weeks using nothing but Facebook. Roughly, what is one client worth to you? roughly? Tell me if you could just guess. Ballpark figure. What's one client worth to you? Not in referrals, just what's one client worth to you? Pop that in chat. We want to know our metrics. We want to know why it's important. People got families to feed. What's one client worth to you? 15K, cool. Again, on live, put it in the comments. Anyone else? Lifetime value of a client is 30,000 plus, right? Exactly. Very cool. So there's lifetime value too. Treat them right. Absolutely. Treat them right now when they really need you, and they'll remember you for life too. The point of connecting right now is very strong. Anyone else? What's one client roughly worth to you? 10, 9, 8, 7, 25K, 6 to 10K. Great. Yes, could be much more. Right. Cool. Yeah, 20K, 15K. Right. It can be worth a lot. Okay, so just multiply that by 12 in 12 weeks, and that's what we're talking about today. So 360,000, 300,000, 120,000, 180,000. I'm just doing the maths for you. It's worth a lot of money. So pay attention, because it's not impossible. And right now, business belongs to those who are brave and those who care. And I want you to play a game with me now just to start. And it's a mischievous game. Are you ready to play the game? So I'm going to take things away from you right now. Kind of like, it's mean because it's kind of what's happened by default. So I'm taking away these things from you. I'm taking away your phone. I'm taking it away. Bye-bye phone. Where you go? I'm taking away your physical freedom. So you're not allowed to leave your house. That's the cool part. Some people have experienced some of that. I'm also going to take away your ability to send direct email. Can't email people anymore. I'm also going to take away all your money. That's really mean. So you can't buy any ads. You can't rely on, if you're in real estate, Zillow or Google ads, whatever your business is. So I'm taking all that away. I'm also going to close your email account. No, mean, horrible, Jeff. And I'm also going to shut down all your other social media accounts except your Facebook profile, especially LinkedIn, because you're wasting way too much time there. So a little cross-platform joke. So I'm taking all those things away, and I'm going to leave you with one thing. I'm going to leave you with your Facebook profile. That's all you have. All you have. What would you do to get 12 clients in 12 weeks? Put some of your ideas down in chat right now. What's some things that you would do? All you had was your Facebook profile, because we are so much smarter together. So let's share a little bit of ideas. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds to put down some things that you might try. You don't know if they're going to work, but you're going to try to get clients in 12 weeks. What are you going to do? Just with your Facebook profile. You've got no other options. You've got this tool that's incredibly powerful. Good. I love that. What would you do? 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13 seconds, 12, 11, 10. What would you do? Got a couple of great ideas, but I need more. What would you do? And I'm going to share them with you, but I just want you to start thinking too. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Awesome. Okay, here they come. Right, time for a shout. So Alicia would post in local Facebook groups, listings. Wow, you can only do that so much, but it's an idea. Gloria would make sure my clients are in Facebook and connected. Great, excellent. Tatiana would post as much content as she could. Well, you take it really seriously, right? Lisa would show care to the community. Amazing. Alicia would also be sending more friend requests. Interesting, right? So here's the thing. You have this really powerful tool, and we built a whole system when we started asking that question. And that's what I want to just quickly teach you today, because we're getting really, really great results. So here's the 3 things that we think that you should do, and we're seeing results from, for people who are using this model to build a referral network and get clients. So you ready? You should have this in your worksheet too. There's a link to it above, so you can draw it in if you want to. The first thing you have to do is you want to attract a large group of people. You want to be connected to as many people in your market, in your community, in your target niche as possible. You want to really connect with them, because all you have is life or death, feeding your family. All you have is this ability to attract the right kinds of people. And we'll talk about who those people are, but you want to attract a large volume of referral partners and clients, possible clients. Next, you want to engage them really deeply so that as many of them as possible are hearing from you and are involved in your content every single day. That's really important. So you want to attract, engage, but you don't just want a lot of connections and a lot of engagement. What you also want to be able to do is you want to be able to inspire them to use you as a realtor or as a lawyer, but also to refer you, to tell other people. You've got to check out Patricia's Facebook page. It's as edgy and crazy as I've ever seen a lawyer have, and it's amazing. And she's so sharp. I totally trust her with legal issues, right? And so those are the three things: attract, engage, inspire. And there are three parts to attracting, and they're really quite simple. The first thing is you want to know exactly who belongs in your sphere, not just whether they have the money to use you, but whether they will resonate with you, whether they love the same things that you love or some of the same things. So you want to get real specific as to exactly who belongs. And then you want to know exactly how to find them really fast, because all you have is your Facebook profile, right? So you want to be able to add large numbers of these people regularly each week so that your sphere is growing with your Facebook page. And then you want to have, and this is really key, you want to have a strategy that welcomes them in the right way. How people first meet you in life, very important. First impression, very important. And we've had clients create a good deal of business just through attracting new people. Kirsten Openshaw here in Fort Worth has got 30 clients, 30 referrals, 30 referrals from Facebook, qualified referrals, just this year. And a lot of it's come from her attracting a new sphere of influence. She went from $4 million production last year. She's already well over 8 this year. So she's miles ahead of her goal. And most of it is coming straight from Facebook. And she's been very specific in terms of who she wants to add to her sphere of influence. It's personal to her and her situation, but it's been an incredible thing for her. So she's sort of gone 4 times her business with her Facebook profile, mostly from this attract section of our model. Next thing is engagement. And this is where I'm going to ask you for feedback on yours in a little bit. But when it comes to engagement, it's not just attention. It's really creating resonance and an affinity for you and your personal brand and you and your content. So the first thing is there needs to be something unique about what you're presenting. You can't have a Facebook profile like every other lawyer. I shouldn't come to it and see lawyer straight away or realtor straight away. I should see humanity and value and fun or whatever it is that makes you you. So you want to have a brand that you put everything through. And we want you to be using your voice in the most powerful way possible, the most unique way possible, the most connected way possible. Remember, all you have is your Facebook profile to connect with all the people in your community. How are you going to add value? You're going to use your voice a lot. And there'll be specific things you say when you know exactly who it is you're trying to connect with. And then 6, you want to have a strategy so that you know exactly what engages people the most powerful way. So that's really important. Brand, voice, strategy. Mary has done a really great job here. She also changed and connected with a bunch more people that she resonated with. She's in Massachusetts. She got 6 qualified clients in 1 week from Facebook. That was worth 60 grand to her. And what she's done a really good job of is using her voice more. We're talking about what she really cares about. Not being offensive. She's very kind, one of the kindest people I know. But she's started to say, this is what I feel, this is what I'm interested in, this is what I care about, and really gone after engaging people powerfully. So that's an amazing result. So those are the first 2. You want to attract a large bunch of the right people. You want to engage them deeply and consistently. Many people are not consistent. And then you want to inspire them to refer you. And inspiring is really about making the relationships real. I think it was, let me just see on the name here. I think it was Alicia who said she would send more friend requests. Well, it's great to send more friend requests so you're connected to more people. But how do you get that friend who you've connected to on Facebook? You never met them before. They're resonating with your content. You want to make the relationship real. You want to get it offline so they can hear your voice on the phone or see you on a Zoom call. It's kind of offline. Whatever it is, the more real it becomes, the more likely they are to refer you. Very important. So you want to be creating real-time conversations. And you want to do this in a really scalable way so that you're not wasting your time. And then the ultimate goal of the whole model is that you have more and more people who have mutual and equal relationships with who refer you, right? That's important. Is this helpful? I want to stop for a second and ask you, when you look at this model, what's the one most impactful thing for you? What's the one thing that I've said in the last 2-3 minutes that you think is most impactful? So I'll give you 10 seconds. Just pop that down. What's the one most impactful thing? Interesting. Good. What's the one most impactful thing? Cool. Different for everybody. Engage. Cool. Right. So it's all different. It's amazing. So making it real was important for Patricia. Attracting was important for Tatiana. Engagement, really important for Kristen. Alicia, engage more. Patricia, think about life, and I like people who I consider real. Exactly. So we want to be making things real. Of course you do, because you're edgy and you don't like people being in the middle of the lane. We talked about this, right? So Dana has done a great job of this. She's the very first person to use our model. Very first person to sign up to our training in March last year. We got about 110 people doing it now. And she had never got through, she's a realtor, not everyone is, but she'd never done more than 16 transactions in a year. Last year, she did 29, and 13 of them came from Facebook. This year, she looks like she'll hit 35 or 36, and a large portion of them just with this channel. She's actually not on any other channels, so she's using her Facebook profile to generate business, and she's doing it in a great way. So really possible. I mean, she's made, $150,000 from the system, which is great. So 3 things. Let's get back to the task at hand, Jeff. 3 things you need to do to get 12 clients in 12 weeks. 3 things you need to do. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to have the right mindset around money and relationships. It's always tempting when we have one thing that's going to generate our lead sources, just our Facebook profile. It's tempting to get super anxious and super transactional with it. So let's put a bunch of listings in Facebook groups. Which again, I've done that sort of thing before. So but it's not, I don't think it's helpful overall. And so what I want you to look at on your worksheet is the revenue to relationship model, because I want to sort of show you where I think this is going. The pressure of this crazy time is, we hear social distancing, but really it's about being physically distant and socially connected. And the desire for social connection and relationships is really strong right now because it's been taken away, right? When we take things away, we want them more. So on the left-hand side, we have revenue. And this is just a business model, for example, to look at. And on the top and the bottom, we have relationship. So relationship. Now, if we look at our, say, gross commission income for our businesses, everybody on this call most likely is somewhere between 0 and 600,000 gross commission or income if you're not in real estate a year. You're between a 0 and a 10. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up a poll. It's totally anonymous, but I want you to plot out where you are on this map. So what I'm going to ask you to do is what's your projected income for this year? And you can just put a number there. So I just pop that up and you can pop it in. Again, totally, it's an anonymous poll. I can't see what you answer. No one can. Pop that in. Cool. Interesting. So you'll plot it on that y-axis. Right. So we have a variety, 50K to 500K plus. A lot of 4s, 200K pluses. A lot of 50Ks, 150K. So everybody's in a different place here. And that's normal. And where you are is where you are. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad or make you feel great. It's just where you are. So gonna just leave this poll up and then look at the next metric that we're going to look at, which is relationships. So you're getting all this business or some business, and how much of it is coming by referral and how much is coming by paid lead. So what percentage of it is by relationship? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this poll. I'm going to pop up another one here so you can we can share the result there because it's not personal. And we'll look here at the next poll. So let's relaunch it. So what I want to do here, once I figure out exactly how to do it, takes a while for the poll to go away, I see. So we'll end that. Now we're going to look at what percentage of your business is by referral. So just pop that in there now. What percentage is by referral? Because we want to make sure that our mindset is to go after referral, relationship-centric business. So just pop that in there. What is your percentage by referral? I'll give you guys sort of 15 seconds. Sorry for the delay there. Cool. It's variable. Yeah, very variable. We have a lot of answers coming in here. Cool. Yep. 80%, 90%, 60%, 50%, 20%. Looks like we're going right across the board here. I've asked this question a bunch of people. Very cool. 50%, 60%. Okay. Very interesting. All right. So what I know is that in general, when I ask this question, a lot of people sit in here or a little higher. A lot of people sit where that dot is there. And that's okay. About 50% of their business is from referral type relationships, and they're not making as much money as they would like in general. So, you know, if you're starting up or if you have a slow death, then what that means is you are not making much money and you're spending a lot of money on paid leads. And that's a pretty insecure place to be, especially right now. So not a good place to be, I think, unless you're just starting up and generating business. But if you're here for a long time, not making a lot of money and buying a lot of leads, it's not going to work for you because your cash flow is too much. The percentage of people, though, who are growing slowly, not making as much as they would like, and they're very relational, but it's unleveraged. So you know a lot of people, but they're not referring you. They're not inspired to refer you. So that's a little bit of a problem. And then there are people up here. It seems good because they're making so much money, but it's all paid. They're having to buy leads, and it's actually unsustainable both emotionally and financially. And there's a brand deficit. What that means is when people work with you, they're not referring you. When people connect with you on Facebook, they're not interested in helping you. There really is a bit of a problem here. Even though you're doing well financially, you're doing poorly relationally. This is actually where you want to be. You want to be making all the income that you need, and you want to be working more and more relationally with people because there's a lot of satisfaction here. And this is what I think the pandemic is pushing us towards right here, being right here. So wherever you're starting, this is the direction we want to go. Does that make sense? Just give me, just put yes in the comments if that makes sense so I can see. And if you have any questions about it, just type them in too. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, cool. That's where I want you to be projecting. So increasing the relational equity of your business so you make more money. And I think it's important to know that when you focus on the relationship first, the happy ending you've been dreaming of is what happens. But if you have to focus on the relationship first, not the happy ending. So a little joke, but that's okay. And what we want to do, second thing, get our mindset right first. We need to improve where you are weak. That's what we need to do. So I'm going to go back to our model here. And it's really important because you can't fill up a bucket that's got holes in it with water until you plug up the holes. So we want to look at, in terms of getting clients and referrals from Facebook, we need to figure out, like, where are we weak? Where are we leaking opportunity? If all we had was our Facebook profile, where are we leaking opportunity? So I want to ask you guys about attract. And I'm going to ask you to give me a traffic light. You're going to type in the chat red light, which is not good. It means you're stopped. Orange light, which means you're okay. Green light means you're thriving. So if we look at attract, your ability to identify who belongs in your sphere, find them and welcome them in. If you're able to say, look, I'm connected to thousands of local people who share my values, my passions, my hobbies, understanding that the goal is 5,000. The goal and with what's possible is you to be connected to 5,000 people in your community, in your market, in your target niche who think you're incredible. If all you had was your Facebook profile, that's the green gold standard green light, right? What are you with your ability to attract right now? Are you red? I don't have that many connections, and like I'm 400, 500, 600, and they're not local and they're not resonating. Are you red? Are you amber? Or are you green? So pop that in, give you 10 seconds. Where do you think you are? Red, red, red. Justin, I think you've been working on that a bit though. Where do you think you are? Are you red, orange, or green? Is everyone following? I'm just asking you for an approximate measure. Orange, cool. I know I've seen you do a bunch of work on that. I looked at your profile the other day, Patricia. All right, so I think in all honesty here, when we ask this question, we see a combination like we just did now. Exactly. Justin, you did it. We see Tatiana, orange. So we see a combination between orange and red. So we have some relational equity. We have some great relationships, but maybe we don't have enough. Or we haven't been specific enough about building our sphere. It kind of happened by accident. We want to be really sure about who we're trying to build relationships with. So let me ask you here about your brand. So your brand. And if you're watching on live, you can put this in too. When it comes to, about engagement, just a really simple measure of engagement. One is, which would be a green light. Every time you post, you get over 100 comments, likes, or shares. If I were to go over your last 7 posts, that's the level of engagement you consistently get. You're consistently getting 100 plus. If you are, and so you're nurturing organically people every day, they're seeing from you, hearing from you, contributing to what you're creating, etc. It's great, very powerful. If you are between 10 and 90 pieces of engagement, roughly 10 and 100, 20 and 100 perhaps. 20 and 100 is better. 20 and 100 per post in your amber or orange. And if you are between 0 and 20 on average, you don't have to go and count, just give me a rough idea, your red light. So you're red between 0 and 20, orange between 20 and 100, and 100 plus comments on posts, you're green. Where are you? Are you a rock star green? Okay, red, orange, red, red, orange. This is the easiest thing to fix. We get people to 100 comments within a week normally of starting our program, which is amazing. Red, red, green. Okay, see one green. All right, so we're a mixture here again, and that's not unusual. Orange, green. Yep, yep. Orange, right? And so there's a real mixture here. So I want you to be thinking about where you're weak as we go through. Now, when it comes to inspiring, basic measure, are you making the relationships real? I would say, if I looked in your Facebook Messenger right now, can I see that you are consistently maybe getting 10 to 20 conversations started with new people? So not your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, or your mother. Are you having 10 to 20 one-on-one conversations in Facebook Messenger with people a month? Or no, a week is better. A week is better and more realistic, 10 to 20 a week. And are they leading to phone calls, 3 or 4 phone calls a week? Or are you more like, I have 3 or 4 conversations with people in Messenger and maybe 1 phone call a week? Or are you red light, I have 1 or 2, when it happens, it happens? So are you red, orange, or green? Now, green is you're consistently having Facebook Messenger conversations and phone calls with people. Okay. Orange, red, 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 red. Just the first part of inspiring. But you can't inspire me to refer unless I hear your voice, most likely. You can sometimes with content. Red, 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 red. Okay. So I think that's very much red, which is important. So now we get a sense of where we are weak. Like, we are not generating conversations, which from a sales perspective is really important, so that we are making the money we need to make and helping the people we need to help. So where are you weak in general, you personally? Because I got you to red light and green light a bunch. Do you feel like your problem is not enough people know you. You don't have a big enough sphere of influence on Facebook to make this work. A, not enough people know you. B, your posting feels directionless, like you don't have good engagement. You don't know really what you're doing week to week. Or C, you're not getting enough conversations. If there was one real weak spot, one thing that you had to work on, which one would it be? 10, 9, 8, 7, B, 6. Good. B, A, B, C, all of them, right? C, hey Louise, how you doing? Right? So really important to know where you're weak, and so we can work that model out. Because the goal, if you have 12 weeks to work on it, is actually to go from this kind of, Patricia attracts people, I'm sure you do. The goal is to go from having this sort of patchy map to it being all green. So you have loads of the right people connected to you, more coming in every day. They're loving all your content and engaging in it and telling other people about it. And they're reaching out to you and you're reaching out to them to have real life conversations. That's it. And you can definitely achieve this when you have a system. Yes, it must be the right people. That's very important. So that's the second thing, is knowing where you're weak. Having the right mindset, understanding the system and knowing where you're weak and working on that. And then the third thing is having measurable daily goals. Really, really important. One of the things I'm most excited about that we're doing. And it's really important because remember we talked about red line, feeling like you're dying and feeling a little bit lost. Orange line, just in survival mode, and green line, thriving. What I've witnessed with the people we work with is the green liners are very active in connecting and building relationships. They're not thinking so much, maybe they can afford to, or maybe they've just turned their mind to it. They're not thinking so much about the financial aspect of their business. If we are constantly thinking about how we're going to survive, then we're kind of on an eternal roller coaster. We feel good when we get paid. We feel bad when we don't. And many of us on this call work in industries where we get paid maybe, I don't know, how many paydays do you have a year? Just pop that in, just so I know. Pop that in chat. Roughly, how many times a year do you get paid? Because so many people are in commission. Is it 10, 50, 14? What is it? 10 or 12? Right. Which means if you solely, now I don't think you'd do this, Gloria, 100, Lisa, that's amazing. But if you solely judge yourself, 10 to 20 is normal for a realtor in many circumstances. We want it to be more like 40 or 50, but at the least. But if it's just 12 paydays a year and you get paid really well on those days, then there are 12 days that you feel really good if you're judging your success by getting paid. And then there are, I don't know, I've got to do the maths. I'm slow. But like 353 days where you feel terrible, right? And so that gets you paralyzed. That helps you to feel lost. Whereas if you are able to have other goals, remember we're thinking relationally, that measure your success, then every day you can feel good about growing your business. Every day there are things you can do, no matter what's in your bank account, where you can build relationships. And that's what's really important. And so what we teach, and I don't share this normally, but I'm sharing it with you today, is we teach a pyramid for growth for using your Facebook profile. Because these are all things that you have control over every single day. So the first thing, again, we talked about what do I need to do to get 12 transactions in the next 12 weeks? That's the challenge, right? Just with my Facebook profile. So that's the goal here. And you can put this in your worksheet. But why should we just focus on transactions when we're talking about growing relationships? So if we want 12 transactions, let's say we're going to try and create 36 referral partners from our Facebook profile. 36 people do anything to help us, tell everyone about us, grow our Facebook group, whatever they'll do, right? So that's the goal, 12 transactions, 36 partners. Let's look at how we can do that. Right at the bottom, what we need to do is we need to attract more of the right kinds of people. And so for people in real estate, for example, this looks like having more people in your current city who are connected to you. So growing your local friends list, but not just in number, but more people based in the right area is really important. And I think a good goal for 12 weeks is for you to try and add, some people need to make room, 1,200 more, 1,200 more new people. And we have people do that. We have people in a workshop who add 150 new friends in a week, and then they'll get clients from it almost immediately with the right welcoming strategy. So if you want to grow and get transactions, you need to connect with more of the right people, and you need to figure out who they are. Then secondly, the second thing you have control over is you want to be soft nurturing. We talked about this. So you want to be getting your engagement up really quickly. So they're hearing from you. So we always look at your last 7 posts. We do teach like 1 post a day, pretty much. That's all you need. If your engagement is high, we have people even go down to 3 because they're so busy. Their new problem, old problem that they had before they started using our system was no engagement, low engagement, no strategy. Their new problem, and I'm not lying about this, and it's kind of funny, is they'll say to me, Jeff, I don't have time to reply to everyone who's engaging with me. And we have to create a new strategy for them, which is awesome. That's a better problem to have, isn't it? More engagement. So what we want to do here is try and get this to around at least 100 per post. So we know if 100 people are hearing from you or replying to you, pardon me, or commenting, we'll get to that in a second, Patricia, commenting every day on your post, then another 500 are seeing it, okay? And so then the next step is to take all that engagement and move it to messenger conversation, which is just what you're talking about. Great question. We don't recommend that you engage with anyone who sends you hi, hey on Messenger. Our goal is to make you the most active builder in the relationship. It's your sphere. I don't really care at the bottom here who sends you friend requests. What I care about is who are you outreaching to? It's your sphere of influence. Don't be passive, be more active. And so when it comes to messenger conversations, who are you initiating messenger conversations with? And what's the relational strategy to do that in a way that's totally normal and fun and good and on your brand? And so there's all sorts of ways to do that. But our goal is to get you to a back, and I'm talking about back and forths here. So not just you saying hello and them not replying. We want to get you to having about 20 of those a week right now. Remember, people are thirsty and hungry and in need of leadership, connection, contact, brand. And if they're the right people who are in your market who would refer you, they're definitely worth it for you. It's scalable if they are. And then we want to move those messenger conversations to phone calls with the right way each week. And our goal is for you to have 7 phone calls. 7 phone calls, pardon me, every week with people who are good people, who live in your area, who have referral potential, who have client potential, who just really belong, who you'd like a mutual and equal partnership with. And from those, what we look to do is take about 3 to partner and about 1 to transaction. So we have to have the right script and the right way of doing that. So that's the pyramid there that we encourage people to use. Every single one of these actions you have power over in the middle of a pandemic, even if your state or place is shut down completely, which I don't think anything is completely right now. There's always a way to do some form of work for most people. There's always power for you. No one can ever stop you growing your Facebook friend list. You can always increase your engagement. You can always ask for messenger conversations. You can get people on the phone and you can turn them into referral partners and get transactions, because if you're in real estate, not everyone is, home has never been more important. We're seeing a lot of relocation energy right now. So what's the most valuable thing from this pyramid for you to think about? Just pop that in chat right now. What's the most important thing for you to think about? The most impactful or the most helpful? Give you 10 seconds. I'll take another drink. Check the time. Got about 13 minutes left. What's the most helpful? 10, 9, 8, 7. Gloria, engagement. She's like, engagement's my problem, and we can fix it. But yes, it's all about content, voice, brand, asking for engagement. Really important. One of the reasons people don't get engagement is they don't ask for it. 3 ways to get engagement, Gloria. You have to ask for it, you have to inspire it, or you have to provoke it. Ask, inspire, provoke. So if your posts don't have a question mark, no one's going to comment typically, right? If it's not such a cute photo that people can't resist it, they're not going to like it, right? Because you're inspiring them to respond. If you say something so controversial that they can't stop but comment, then that's another way. So just makes sense that you want to really work on this engagement, because honestly, if you pull out one of these pillars, it doesn't work as well. So I want you to really work on that. Really cool. Engagement seems really important here. And got some ways to help you with that. So let me just summarize this. My mouse seems to have gone out on me, so I'm using a different one now. The whole goal of this is to take cold relationships and warm them up so that they're ready to refer you. So some of you are probably thinking, is it possible for me to get 12? Really, is it possible, Jeff, to get 12 clients in 12 weeks? Like, that would probably make a big difference for you guys. I saw like 300,000, 150,000, 180,000. You're like, is it possible? Right, pictures of grandkids get the most engagement, but they don't. You want to have more than just that. It's important. We have 1 post a week we teach, which is personal, that would fit into it. It's important that they see you're a real human being. Very important. So some of you are wondering this, is it possible for me to get these results in this time of coronavirus, 12 clients in 12 weeks? And so what I wanted to do was tell you about a challenge we set up for people in our pilot program, where we said, let's try and get 12 clients in 12 weeks. Let's create some accountability. Let's check in with each other. Let's come to a live training every week and work on it. And the results, because we started on July 1st, are pretty staggering. And so we have about 5 people, and this already needs to be updated a bit more, because I see one person who now has 5, who is down at 2, and actually she's at 1 too. But we have about 5 people who have 1 transaction within 3 or 4 weeks of starting. So that's, they're only going to get 3 or 4, but some of them are high ticket people, so that's fine. We have someone in Newport Beach who's got 2 clients from Facebook in July that'll pay for him for the rest of the year. We have a bunch of people who've got 3, and we have a bunch of people who've got 4, one who has 5 who needs to update, one person who has 6, and one person who has 7. Cindy Lautier has 7 transactions from Facebook, just her Facebook profile, in the month of July. She's so busy she can't come to the trainings. So definitely possible when you work relationally and you focus your attention on just one platform. One of the problems is being everywhere. You end up being nowhere. So last thing I want to share before we wrap up is mindset model number 2. So again, we'll do another little box here. We have on the x-axis, if you like, on the y-axis, pardon me, situation, your situation, and what you think of the current situation. And then on the x-axis, we have your view of time. So if I were to ask you about the current situation, how you feel about your business right now, at this point in time, 0 would be, Jeff, I think it's the end of the world. Like, I don't even see how we're going to make it through. 10 is, I am jazzed. This is an incredible opportunity to reset for growth. I've talked to some people who say things are going so well, I don't want it to even end. I know that's bad, but I don't want it to end, because this reset, this time has been so helpful for me in my business. So between 0 and 10, where are you at when it comes to your view of the current situation? So just pop that in chat if you could. Where are you? 8. That's positive. That's awesome. That's awesome. Incredible. 7. Good. And where you are is where you are. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8 or 9. You guys are great. 8. Amazing people. Positive. Like, seeing this as an opportunity. That's awesome. That's exactly where I want you to be. When you think about it in terms of time, what we see is some people think of this time as being really limited right now. Time is limited in terms of my business. We talked about this before. Don't know if I'm going to make it. All I can think about is right now and my next transaction. Really hard to be relational in this time. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of it. Whereas 10 is, this is unlimited. It's infinite. Like, the future is amazing. Where are you with that? Are you 0, 5, 10, somewhere in between? So pop that in there. 10, 10, 10. Love it. Love it. Entrepreneurial people on this call. 10, 9. Amazing, Louise. Love it. Alicia. Very cool. Very cool. This is great. This is really great. You guys are doing amazing. So what we know is that a lot of people around the middle, you guys are actually not. You guys are more up to the right, which is where I want. A lot of people around the middle here. We know, and I've experienced this with conversations with people, that some people will just say, I feel really lost right now. Like, this is not working for me. And they kind of need to be rescued. Like, please, somebody just help me. I need a miracle, right? This place here. And they don't see it ending. And if you don't see something ending, you're just hoping for something. And it's a really passive kind of hope. Totally understand if that's where you are. I give you a virtual hug right now. It's a tough place to be, but I can't leave you there as a trainer. I can't just say it's okay to be there. I can empathize, but I can't leave you there. Some people think it's the end of the world, and they think the future is never going to end. So we're going to be stuck here for a century. Things are never going to return. My business is never going to rebound. So someone please help me. And they want to be served. They want like a steady flow of leads given to them by somebody forever. And they're not going to be that proactive. So it's a more of a victim mentality. The other two, though, which is where you guys are, is that some people feel like this time is really important. They're not thinking too much about the future, but they're wanting to reset and make good. And those people are fighters. They are fighting for their families, for everything. They'll do whatever it takes. And they really welcome help right now. They really welcome help. And then some people right here, which is where a number of you were, you are very optimistic about the future. And you see this as a great time to reset for growth. And you really want to lead your clients and your people in your sphere of influence. And you just really want a little bit of guidance. And so what I want to tell you guys today is that if you are feeling lost or a victim, I can throw you a life raft and help you, and other people in your lives can too. But you've got to grab a hold of it to get up. You've got to want to fight for your business and for yourself. And you've got to want to, that through that fighting, you'll innovate, you'll connect, you'll pull yourself up with the help of others. That's totally fine. But if you're fighting and you want help, and if you're a leader and you want some guidance, one of the things I wanted to do was just ask you really two simple questions, and they're kind of obvious questions. So the first question, and just put yes in the comments if you want it, is would you like 12 clients in the next 12 weeks from Facebook? Just put yes if you would. Yes, thank you, said Gloria. Right? Yes, says Alicia. I'll give you 10 more seconds. No one, yes, 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 of course, right? It's obvious. Someone might want more. It's possible to get even more. That's possible too. Yes, 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 right? Yes, it makes sense. And then the next question is, would you like me to help you? And I'm not selling you anything right here because I don't know you well enough. So would you like me to help you? Put yes, no, maybe in the comments. So I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8. Yes, 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 yes. I am going to help you, Patricia. We're already talking. That's amazing. Yes, I'm absolutely doing it. Cool. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. So rather than like getting you to do a bunch of stuff where we don't really know enough anyway, all I'm going to ask you to do is send me a message right here in Facebook. And the message is to my personal Facebook profile. So you'll talk just with me. And just put the words pilot program, and I'll explain why. And that'll help me know what we're talking about. So just do that right now. Now you want to put it in chat and let me know when you've done it. Just say I sent you one, because what's important is the first few people I'm going to give something to. So we have a pilot program with 110 people in it, and I'm looking to add 5 more people really only this month. It's important to me that they're the right people because we have an incredible culture of motivated people who are really supportive of each other. So all that will happen is we'll talk and we'll see if you're a good fit. That's it. We'll talk and see if you're a good fit. You'll ask me questions. I'll give you something to read. And I talked to Tatiana about it last night. And we'll just see if it's right for you. And if it's right for you, we'll get started and we'll work together. There's also a bonus for the first 3 people who reach out to me. So you better go ahead and do it. I want to give you guys something. Louise messaged me. She's got 1. Anyone else who wants that bonus? I'm going to give you some really engaging questions that you can try to get your engagement up. I'm going to give you a list. I might do more than 3, but you have to do it in like the next 2 minutes or so. Okay. Alicia, Gloria, Justin, Louise. My phone's going off. Anyone else want a list of questions or want more info about working together? Very cool. Very cool. All right. So that's that part of it. I just have a time for answering any questions. And I thought what we could do is I could pop on, I could just unmute you as you go. So do you have a question for me? And we'll just talk about it as we go. Any questions? Go ahead and send me a question in chat and I'll ask you if you have a question about what we discussed today. Any question, go ahead. I'll start talking until I get questions. Gloria, do you have a question for me?
For posting, I know you have to be more human.
Go for it.
Okay. When you're posting and you need to be more human, how do you keep your privacy in that?
Oh, so you're talking about when you share a personal story, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm hesitant about
right
putting personal information up there.
Okay, let's talk briefly about transparency because I think that's important. Does anyone else sometimes wonder, like, if they should share something a bit personal, like personal stuff? They have a question like, is this too personal? Or just put yes if that happened to you in the comments. So I know I'm not just talking to Gloria. Sure, yeah, okay. So what we see is that people think that transparency means sharing everything sometimes. Not saying you do, but it's your brand. You still get to choose what you share. So there have been situations in my life that don't just involve me. Maybe they involve my wife or my kids. I don't share that, right? Because it's not just mine to share. And when I share it, I share the bits, firstly, that I think are most helpful to others. I don't just open up my chest and let all the shit out, pardon my French, because that's a little too unfiltered. And everyone has different comfort levels. And certainly the success in our training is not related 100% to the level of vulnerability. Really, the success of engagement is related to, one, how human you are, but often that's in how you respond to other people's vulnerability. That makes sense. Does that make sense? So I've asked questions where I said to somebody, what was your favorite room in the house growing up? That was a question I asked. Got hundreds of comments back. And one person said, my favorite place was the house. What was a shrub outside with long leaves that fell down, and it was safe because there was so much abuse in my house, right? That's amazing vulnerability on their part. How I engage with that is very valuable to them. So there is so much about vulnerability, which is about the other person and not just your personal story. So if you feel comfortable sharing something personal, share it. Sometimes sharing things that are personal but happened a long time ago is a safer place to start too. Does that make sense?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, cool. Alicia, you have a question. You say, do you recommend using personal Facebook business page or combo for the program? Great question. Alicia, what we do is a great question, is we think the personal profile is the central hub of your relational sphere. Like anyone who's valuable to you, who you like and resonate with, should be connected to you there. And so about 60% of our training works on the business page. But on a business page, you normally have to spend some money because it's how Facebook makes their money to get more people to see it. But you're better off spending $10 on a very engaging post to boost it than you are spending $10 on a post that's not very engaging. So our engagement strategy applies perfectly to a business page. It's really valuable. But you want to know that your business page probably has a different relational purpose. Its probably goal is to attract new people. So you're wanting new people to get into your relational system, into your CRM, stuff like that. Does that make sense? but yes. Patricia asks, when you do the training, do you train the person who owns the company, or can the training include more people with the company? Great question. It really depends on how the business is set up. So sometimes we have like teams of people and they all work as individual people, and they're all going to set up their own sphere of influence and generate their own business. So we discount them if they're part of the same team to join our training, if that makes sense, but because they're all building their own personal brand. But there may be a husband and wife who branded the same, work together all the time. They would just come as one, if that makes sense. In terms of the content strategy for a business page, I think you would get good ideas for that. We have someone who sends their assistant to our training every week. That's okay. I think it's good for it to be your voice too, though. Does that make sense? Anyone got any other questions? Before I wrap up, I'm going to reach out to everybody in Facebook Messenger who wants to chat with me. I think there's 4 or 5 people. If you do want to chat, I also sent you an email if you haven't replied, and you can send me a message from there. I'm here to help you guys. I'm amazed that you all want to reset for growth and want to build a business for the future. Anything's possible right now because most people are pulling back. This is a time to push forward, to really care and really be brave. So thank you so much. If you're on the Facebook Live and you want to message me, send me a message and I'll be in touch. Take care.